This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Get the whole lot in shot at once.
Hello everybody, welcome to show 218 of Aussie Mac Zone. Got to remember that we are presented by athwebhosting.com.au. They use the C panel, the industry standard user-friendly feature-rich control panel. You can install over 250 scripts with one click, like WordPress Joomla. They accept PayPal as well as other cards. Instant activation, auto setup, free setup, domain registration, 99.95% uptime, affordable competitive plans from $5.95 per month when paid annually. And don't forget, friendly help when needed. So, hello Garth.
Hello Michael, how are you?
Fantastic. How's beautiful Gold Coast?
Yeah, today it's a bit wet, but apart from that, it's fantastic.
Yeah, ours is a bit wet and cool.
Well, I've got wet and warm.
Yeah. So I even closed the door for a little while at work today because the sea breeze was a bit cool, so I had to just close that for a little while.
Well, we had ours closed to keep the air conditioning in.
Zarn, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Besides, the weather here is wet and cold. We stayed in today because I was at home, and so the boys and I watched back-to-back, was it MIB, Men in Black movies?
Oh, okay.
And, it was good fun.
So, our Aussie Apple ramblings are story number 1. Apple launches Apple Support YouTube channel featuring how-to tutorial videos for iPhone and iPad. Each video shows a person's hand walk through each step of the process, along with on-screen bullet points to reinforce the directions. The videos are fully narrated with additional explanation and range between 1 and 2 minutes in length, with full English captions available for accessibility. The channel launched last week with a selection of 10 videos spanning the basics like printing and updating iOS to more niche features like muting group iMessage chats and linking contact cards. It's not clear how often Apple will update the channel with new videos, but it is something for us to look forward to. Now, my second story.
Very good.
And they are good to watch, quick to learn, so nice.
Yeah. Well, with all the changes in iOS 11, especially for the iPad, I hope there's a couple in there for that, because that might be very handy for some people.
Yes, and they are good. So now, Garth, our question for you is: you're travelling, so what travel things you got organised for your tech life?
Well, of course, the main thing that everybody needs when traveling is battery packs, right?
Yes.
Battery packs. And I've got a nice little Anchor, like plug it in once and you've got 5 or 6, high capacity USB ports that'll probably in the cabin or whatever. You just plug it in and we'll have a, like a cat of 9 tails worth of cords hanging off it that we can all plug our devices into.
The little family battery pack.
Exactly. So the battery pack as well, but this is a wall outlet type one.
Sorry.
So one, wherever you are, you might just have the one socket, and this has got, like I said, 5 or 6 USB ports on it, and nice and compact and high. It's high, fast charging basically.
Yeah.
So that is a must. And the other thing that may be a must, and I have to look into this one a bit further, is an adapter, because I think the cruise ship we are going on has US style power points. So
that sucks, doesn't it?
It could be a disaster if we get on board. And it may not be right. I may be wrong, but on one place I read it said it had US points. So if we get aboard and none of us have got the right charging equipment, there's going to be a mutiny, I'd say.
Yes.
Yeah. Who are you going with?
Princess.
Okay.
I know he's a princess, but who are you going with?
My
Drop it,
princess.
darling.
Your princess. Good answer. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some nice little travel plug adapters. Does the Anchor have different adapters on it?
No, it has one of those cords, like a cord to one of those little 2-pin figure eight style.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could probably grab another one of those that had an adapter, but I'll just I don't know. I probably just need to send them a message and find out if they do.
Yeah.
Actually, I sent their Twitter account a message and never heard back from them, so I'm not too impressed with their social media.
No. We'll have to sort that out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's the main travel thing is battery packs,
Yeah.
and of course, waterproof cases for. My son has a good waterproof case for the phone for any underwater stuff, underwater video and things like that they may want to take.
No, that's excellent.
And yeah,
I've got a really good waterproof case on my phone too. And I've got the LifeProof case.
yes,
They're excellent.
yeah, I think that's the same one he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants me to talk a little bit more about LifeProof, if LifeProof see this, I'm happy to endorse your product if you send me something.
Otherwise, it's absolute crap.
Other than that, that's all I'm talking about. Like,
Actually, I think I am a little am a little bit worried about his case. It's only 6 months old, but yeah, maybe we should test the waterproofing before we risk it. I think it's getting a bit worn.
it's a good idea to do that. So
Yeah.
I can remember when.
Well, the iPhone 7 is relatively waterproof anyway, so you know.
yeah.
I can remember
But still.
when the iPhone first came out, and we used to get like plastic bags with Ziploc cases that then you'd actually screw it down so it was actually you knew it was sealed, and you'd have to like have the video going, then put everything in the plastic bag.
I've those
remember
Ziploc
that.
bags. I've used a Ziploc bag before and it's been fine.
Yeah.
They work pretty well, in fact. Those Ziploc bags. They're pretty airtight,
Yes. So,
and you can touch the screen through them and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
so that's all part of the fun. Something for you to look forward to on your holiday.
Indeed.
iPhone 10 and Apple Park are just a few of the things Johnny Ive discusses in his latest interview. Ive is excited about the design space at Apple Park because it will allow the entire design team to work together. Industrial designers, font experts, motion graphics experts, and computer interface designers will be able to come together to interact in new ways and share ideas. And I've got a link to the SmithsonianMag.com where he does the discussion and has the interview. So yeah, sit down, have a listen, have a read. Now also, as I posted on Apple News last week, that's Aussie Mac Zone on Apple News, ALXEA and Amazon Echo devices are coming to Australia and New Zealand early in 2018. This was confirmed in a press release. So Amazon Echo, hands-free, always ready and fast. Echo is designed around your voice and is hands-free and always ready. Ask for information, music, news, weather, and more from across the room and get results instantly. Echo connects to your Wi-Fi network and uses far-field voice recognition with an array of 7 microphones to clearly hear you around the room. It has advanced beamforming, combines the signals from the individual microphones to suppress noise, reverberation, and even competing speech. So don't forget ALXEA, because we don't want to say it because it triggers it for other people listening.
Alexa, you mean? Sorry.
The brain behind Echo is built in the cloud, so the service is always getting smarter. Just ask and she'll answer questions, play music, read the news, set timers, alarms, and much more. The same thing you can do with Siri. And it is bringing a new voice designed for an Australian and a New Zealand audience as well.
Oh, are they? Now that's interesting. That's funny.
Hey,
The Google devices. Yeah, that'll be great.
Get up and do it yourself, you lazy bastard.
You lazy mug.
So it's actually going to have an Aussie accent, is it?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's what it says.
Oh dear.
Get
I know some of my American friends will actually want that accent. You'll be like, can we change to the American version, the Australian version? The Google Home devices are, I think, they've beat the market, the last to market sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, not last to market, but I'll be interested to. I was trying to pick one up on Black Friday, one of the Alexa devices, and didn't have any success, unfortunately. Okay. Obviously.
Yeah, they won't ship them out here now, will they?
No, the little buggers.
Yes. But they won't say. They said when it's going to happen next year.
Yeah.
Just like their shops were opening before Christmas. So.
Yeah, it didn't happen so much either. Yeah, we'll see. The race is not over between HomePod and Alexa as to
That's right. Who will
be Amazon in a can until when they get here? Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So, I've got a little story about Vodafone versus Telstra. Seeing as how none of them have answered our request for comment. So, the other day, last Thursday, I'm in the big shopping centre. I'm on a call and searching the net. And I'm on my Vodafone phone. And side by side, the Vodafone showed 3 bars and 3G. And Telstra showed 3 bars and 4G. Then I hung up the phone call and Voda went back to 3 bars 4G. So I'm not sure. Like as soon as I hung up the call, it changed. So I'm not quite sure what was going on there. I was going to go over and show the Vodafone team and say, well, this is why I changed from Vodafone to Telstra. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means either.
Just like straight away it happened.
It might be, yeah. There's probably a very good reason for that outside our skill set. Now, speaking just while we're between stories and back to the traveling thing, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I need input from the listeners. What's the best prepaid data plan I can grab when going to New Zealand? So whether it be something I have to get in New Zealand or like I know that Vodafone, a lot of that stuff sort of works. Doesn't matter where you are in New Zealand or Australia, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vodafone does. So your prepaid Vodafone should work Australia and New Zealand without a doubt.
That's only one person's opinion.
Yes. Because when I looked at the Vodafone one, it said, roam for 100 countries, but it's $5 a day per country. I mean, $5 a day when you're overseas, but I don't know if that applies to New Zealand. It really didn't make it clear. So
is that because New Zealand isn't another country? It's just another part of
yeah, maybe. Just the
sorry, New Zealand listeners.
Australia's 8th and 9th states or whatever.
That's funny. When I'm in New Zealand, it's the other way. They say we're the West Island. They've got a North, South, and West Island.
Oh, poor Tasmania's forgotten about again.
It's just a ringer for us. Yeah, so feedback at aussiemaxzone.com.au if anyone's got any opinions for Garth travel adventures.
Indeed.
And you don't have to feel sorry for him. He already knows we all feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I know. Maybe.
So because there's so many stories at the moment, I've got some quick ones here that we won't have to go on with. But so AirPods and iPad listed as top-selling electronics during this year's record-setting Cyber Monday. So they've got the numbers up still, which is good. The Tesla Mega Battery in Australia is activated. The world's largest lithium-ion battery has begun dispensing power into the electricity grid in South Australia.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I'm very happy for Mr. Tesla. Yeah. Apple Watch, $5 a month. It costs $5 a month to activate your watch in Australia, I believe. That's with everybody. Now, they did talk about this earlier, and it's actually happened. So there's an Apple Heart Study. So the Apple Heart Study app uses data from your Apple Watch to identify irregular heart rhythms, including those from potentially serious heart conditions such as arterial fibrillation. Apple is conducting this research study in collaboration with Stanford Medicine to improve the technology used to detect and analyze irregular heart rhythms, like arterial fibrillation, a leading cause of stroke. fortunately for the US, they've got it. We don't, and we can't download the app either. But I'll put a link, as it's a nice, interesting read. Now, Apple's latest iOS update fixes a bizarre issue that started after midnight. The story says December 2, but I think it was December 1, because my brother-in-law rang me and said, my phone keeps restarting. I did an update, and it gets to a certain point and restarts. Goes through, restarts. And Apple's first answer while he was talking to them, because I hadn't heard anything, was you go in and change the date and then go in and do another update. And it's another iOS update. They changed an iOS update. And once he did that, he had to change the date 24 hours prior, and it went and updated his phone, and the problem went away. So,
When I first heard about this one, I thought it was a hoax. It's just such a bizarre, it's a time related to like 12:15 or something a.m.
Yeah.
After that point, some issue with the notification server and the particular time or whatever, and people's phones are just respringing all over the place. So Apple, pushed out 11.2 a bit earlier than expected, I think, to resolve it.
Yes. So that was just fixed like that. None of my phones had the issue. Maybe I just not fast enough to update it. But
iPhone 7s, I think, I've heard some people say they were more susceptible or for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case, but
Could be a 7 that he's running. Yeah. So now here's one that makes me happy. Now, if you remember, Apple did say to developers, embrace the notch when the iPhone 10 was announced. And now you can get it, that little notch at the top, you can get that on your Android device. So I'll put a link in there to the Lifehacker article, and all you Android people can go and get your iOS 10 notch.
Should you choose to give away a part of your screen for no particular reason, go for it.
Embrace the notch.
Yeah. Does it round off the corners of the screen a bit as well, make them a bit more curved?
So, I didn't look at it that close because I don't have any Android phones.
No.
I just gave away my only Android phone that I was using for testing for a while back. So
you paid someone to take it, didn't you?
So here's a little go for you. Tech items that we bought this year. So the first one, which I actually bought again today, is a piece of software that you put on your Mac. It's called Handy Print, and it gives you AirPrint capabilities if your printers don't have AirPrint. So
okay.
As I'm trying to use my iPad a lot more when I'm at one of my jobs, they've got some Macs there, but they don't have any AirPrint printers, so I bought the software, and it's donationware. I think the donations start at $5 or $20 for this piece of software, and you get 14 days to trial it, and it works like a beauty. I've used it in home for a long time now, so works like a beauty. Oops. So that's my first piece of tech I bought this year. What about Zarn?
First bit of tech I bought this year, I think, is when I paid for the Mario Brothers game, Super Mario app on my iPhone, so I could play Mario Brothers wherever I was. It's a really cool game, and it's like pretty good. It's got a few different levels, like you can go into sort of a turbo mode, or you can go and play the game, the Mario game on your phone at normal speed, normal style Mario. It's the 3D levels, and it's still the old school style, each level by level, but it's even with playing it on my iPhone, it's the graphics are fantastic, and that's the first one.
Garth, what's something you've bought this year?
My first one is this fella here, the Apple Magic Extended Keyboard. With the my favorite keyboard I've ever used, I think. I really like the action on these Magic keyboards, and the extended version is fantastic.
Yes.
That being said, I think I'm starting to have some issues with my up arrow, so I'll have to see to that before the warranty runs out.
Yeah, well, that's easy. You just take it back in and go,
Yep. Oi,
my up arrow's not working.
my up arrow don't go up very often.
There's a pill for that.
Yeah. And it's blue, apparently.
Apparently. I've never seen it before.
No.
My next one is my AirPods. It's super convenient for my car that I haven't put Bluetooth in yet. So that's the first thing that's really convenient for. I was going to buy a speaker for the car, but I end up, just get the AirPods. I can use them for a lot more things. And
A car with a speaker, even?
So yeah, it's good. They're good. Yeah, they last forever.
Mm-hmm.
You get plenty of charges out of the little packets. Yeah, that's my next choice. Zarn.
So my next one is a Microsoft product.
Hello, something's broken.
Oh,
here.
It's my Xbox One. I bought that earlier this year. Mainly so I could, sort of have Netflix and everything like that on one of my other televisions for the children. No, it's a lie. It was so I could play video games. I bought that because at the time it was on special. It was cheaper than the PlayStation 4. And I still will get the PlayStation 4, just not yet. I'll wait until the next version comes out and I'll get the older version cheaper.
Well, you might want the PlayStation 5 by then, I guess.
Yeah, I normally wait because their online servers, like even now for PlayStation 3, because I've got a PlayStation 3 as well, they're still up and running. So because they're still up and running, I can use my PS3 and still play the games I like and everything like that. And so I normally wait until servers sort of slow down and then I upgrade, because it also not only does it cost me less money, but I'm just lazy like that. Yeah. And I don't have to start all over again and try to bring everything over and So yeah, that's my second one. Garth, your turn.
My Yamaha monitors, my Yamaha studio monitors that are either side of me here. You can't hear or see at the moment, but yeah, really love them. Really love doing audio editing and stuff without. Usually, if you want to hear stuff properly, you've got to have the headphone. I've had to use headphones, and just to be able to edit without the headphones is fantastic. Get some proper studio monitors, really nice.
Especially when it's hot, eh? Not having
exactly. Headphones and heat do not go well together. Big over the ear ones, anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And when no one else is home, you get the blast music out of them as well. Are they good?
Indeed. Yeah, not too much though. I actually don't do that too much. They're near field monitors. They do go pretty loud, but that's not their.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people, if they listen to them to play music, they'll be like, that sounds different, because they're very flat, not.
Yep.
There's no sort of your normal stereo speakers that you'll have for your hi-fi are, boosted in the sub, in the bass, and boosted in the highs, and it's all, or these extremely flat and very nice.
All right, my next one is a HDMI to HDMI with audio out, so it's just a HDMI through box. It's got audio out, and it's actually USB powered. So you plug it into your TV, you put your Apple TV from that to the box, and this is so that I'm getting ready for AirPlay 2 in iOS 11 when it's fully up and running. I'm going to put these around the house so that we can play our podcast and just walk around the house listening to the podcast with the AirPlay system.
So how does that? So Michael, does that mean you won't have to have the TV on? But is that the goal?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. So the Apple TV sends HDMI to this little device, which sends audio to your stereo and HDMI onto your TV.
Yeah.
and you can just have your stereo on and
That's
still have
exactly
the
right.
AirPlay coming from your Apple. Yeah, cool.
And it works like a beauty. I've got one of them running, which is HDMI to VGA adapter, doing the same thing, but that just reduces the quality of the picture because your VGA output's not as good as your HDMI output. So yeah, I'm just trying these. They're only like $25 each on eBay. So as soon as it only turned up today, this particular one. So the VGA one I've had for a while and it's been working great, but I'm trying to get the HDMI one. So I'm going to give it a wrap and then try the multiplayer and go from there.
Awesome. Let us know how that goes because I've had some some of them seem to work really well and other ones are problematic and so
I've got one on my main system downstairs. I've got one that I got from Kerr, which was about $90, $100, something like that, and these were like 25. So
25, yeah.
Interesting to see the difference.
Yes.
Young Zarn, what about you? Got another one?
I don't think I do actually. I'm just trying to think. What else have I got?
No, you're waiting for me to make my Raspberry Pi and you use that as the retro game, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. That's
That's my fault.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Raspberry Pi to do the retro gaming thing, but other than that, no. I'm trying to think, mate, what else have we got at home?
That's all right.
Actually, no, I did. Sorry. I bought some Bluetooth speakers because, again, my stereo in my car doesn't work very well. And instead of being a cheap bastard, instead of putting a new stereo in it, I just bought Bluetooth speakers so I could play music through my phone and in the car. So.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so
How do you charge them? They're battery operated, I imagine.
No, you can just plug them straight in via a Android plug charger from the power supply
Standard.
in your car.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I just run one of the cables straight into that, and I've got excellent quality sound in my car, and I don't need to spend $200 on a car stereo.
That's freaking awesome. That's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garth, have we got any more?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to do the AirPods as well, but I realized other than the fact that you've done them, I actually bought these at the end of December last year. I've had them, I got them, when they first came out. So it wasn't actually this year. So they don't really qualify. So I'm not too sure now. I guess I have bought a few other things like
Even your
a new
LED light.
little LED light that's shining on me now. I've got the keyboard over here. That was this year. This other microphone that I like, that's here. That was this year. So yeah, just a couple of little mentions there.
Excellent. And I don't know whether you've seen it, but the AirPod case, when you're on the plane or whatever, you can have your AirPods in. If you just push your phone down in it, actually holds the phone at a nice angle, so you can use that as a rest to watch the video that you're listening to with your AirPods. So yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So don't forget, we're here to promote Aussie Tech Radio at www.aussietechradio.com. That's got our sister show, Aussie Tech Security Podcast, and our brother show, the award-winning Aussie Tech Heads Podcast. So, and we've just been advised this week that next year's Australian Podcasting Awards night will be in Melbourne in May. So we'll be getting ready to ask you to vote for us again. Don't forget, we've got Apple News at Aussie Mac Zone. Just remember, go in there and favourite us. And there's another little story. So this one's going to take a little bit of reading. So I just wanted to...
Okay.
The Bendigo Bank added to Apple Pay in Australia. So the list now includes... This is the Australian list of banks, etc. So... because there's a few, they're nearly all credit unions, but I'll read them out. Here we go. American Express, ANZ, Australian Unity, Bank Australia, Bank of Sydney, Bendigo Bank, the Beyond Bank Australia, Big Sky Building Society, Cape Credit Union, Catalyst Money, Central Coast Credit Union, Central Murray Credit Union, Central West Credit Union, Community Alliance Credit Union, Community First Credit Union, Credit Union SA, CUA, which is Credit Union Australia, I think, from memory.
Yep.
Customs Bank and Defence Bank, Firefighters Mutual Bank, First Option Credit Union, Goldfields Money, Goulburn Murray Credit Union, Holiday Coast Credit Union, Horizon Credit Union, HSBC, ING, Intech Credit Union, Laboratories Credit Union, Latitude Financial Services, Lombard Finance, Macquarie, My State Bank, Nexus Mutual, Northern Beaches Credit Union, Northern Ireland Credit Union, Once Credit, P&N Bank, People's Choice Credit Union, the Police Bank, the Police Credit Union, the RACQ, Select and Compass Credit Union, Southwest Slopes Credit Union, Sydney Credit Union, Teachers Mutual Bank, the MAC, the Rock, Unibank, Unity Bank, Warwick Credit Union, WAW Credit Union, Woolworths Employees Credit Union. So that's in case you didn't know that your credit union or financial service didn't offer Apple Pay. That's everything that Australia has currently. So welcome aboard Bendigo Bank.
Well done,
Absolutely.
Bendigo Bank. That's
Well
great.
done. Well done, sir. Yeah. That's- mm.
I know, it's one of
I
those
still haven't
things-
actually changed banks, but you know, you'd think about it. You think about it.
I've thought about it as well. I just keep waiting and thinking, no, NAB will catch up. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Suncorp, come on. No, see, I just grabbed an Amex card. It was so easy to apply online. I think I remember sitting on the train, 50-minute train ride home, and on my phone applied for the card, then got a notification not much longer after saying it was all good. And
That was there when
yeah.
you got home.
well, not quite, but yes. Wasn't too long.
Yeah.
So, and they have Amex have a no fee, no benefit type one, and still 55 days interest free and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, that's how I use my Apple Pay.
And it's very convenient. It's a very convenient system.
Mm.
Now, Apple, any more stories before I do my how-to?
How tell us how.
Tell you how? So, we had a bit of an interesting week this week because we had the issue with iOS, where we had an issue, and Apple's High Sierra security patch affected Mac file sharing. Apple Insider reports Apple's latest update for macOS High Sierra hasn't gone well. As revealed earlier this week, the update included a bug that made it pretty easy for anyone to gain admin rights to your Mac, an obvious privacy concern. Apple rolled out a patch for the issue, but it seems that's not without its problems either, as some users are now unable to authenticate or connect to file shares on their Macs. Fortunately, there's a simple fix, as Apple Insider reports. You open the Terminal app in the Utilities, which is in the Utilities folder of the Applications folder, and you type sudo /usr/libx configure local KDC, and you've got to use upper and lower case, so it's better to read it as you go.
Cut and paste, people. Cut and paste.
That's right. And then you hit return, enter your admin username and password for the machine, quit the Terminal app, and it's done. And the number of people affected by the new security update flaw is unknown. Apple jumped on the case relatively quickly when the initial problems became clear, but whether or not they'll release yet another update for the latest issue is also unknown. So yeah, it wasn't a great week for Apple updates.
No, that was an absolute shocker, wasn't it? And goodness knows how long it had been there and undiscovered by Apple, at least. You know.
Because
So,
everybody was looking forward to their Thanksgiving dinners and things, you think, last week?
Oh, I have no idea. Have no idea.
No one was
But
there.
for anyone who didn't
Pushing
hear, if you're at all interested in watching this show, I'm sure you've heard all about it. But just in case you haven't, there was a security flaw that meant you could basically, from the login, switch to what you just had to add it. Well, I can't root and no password. Hit enter. Oh, it didn't work. Hit enter again. Oh, I'm in.
That's amazing, that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't want auto login, but we don't want anything like that either.
No.
So that's the best I've got for this week.
Fantastic, Michael. Thank you very much once again for pulling all the stories together and leading this raggedy drab of us.
So yes, it's another great week done. So I'd just like to thank our listeners, our sponsors, and our supporters. Thank you, Zarn.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been
Thank
a
you,
wonderful
Garth.
month.
Thanks, guys. And thanks, listeners.